everybody, this is Anne from the Alpha Chi Omega Foundation, and we are reporting live from Leadership Academy in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we know so many of you are passionate about Leadership Academy, especially as donors and facilitators and volunteers throughout the years. And so we wanted to bring you an inside peek of what the excitement that's happening. So behind us here is the foundation table. You'll see Marcia Grady there processing some gifts that are actually been coming through. But we're going to pop into a breakout session, and some of you may know Jen Wallach, who is in our Educational Leadership Initiatives Department. She's facilitating a breakout session, and I think there's some excitement going on. So we'll come on in. And Jen actually told all of the women who are in here that we would be filming. So these are some breakout sessions that are happening. As you can see, this is the largest Leadership Academy that we've had. We've been able to bring 3 different collegiate officers. So chapter presidents are here, vice president of facility operations are here, and vice president finances are here. And then we also have finance advisors and specialists. So as you can see, we're in a breakout session, minute 24 left. There's all these breakout groups. And for those of you who have been to Leadership Academy before, maybe as a volunteer in some capacity, you know there's a lot in this room, and this is just a fraction of it. So we want to say thank you to everyone for your gifts and donations, because without you, the women in this room wouldn't necessarily be possible. So we've got Jen's waving to everybody. Looks like we've got a couple of people joining live. Hey, Carmen. And so we'll join over here. I'll kind of give a little angle here to the back of the room. They're hard at work, so. Hey, Jen, how's it going? We're having so much fun. Especially, how could you not without Jen here? Okay, so I'm going to go into the back of the room, and we'll hear what everybody is learning about. This is a breakout session with a certain group of officers. Hopefully I'm not making everybody too dizzy as I'm walking around here, but we'll kind of stand here in the back. And this session has, I know, a lot of facilitators. We've got, so you may see some familiar faces. You may see some people you know that are from different chapters. If you're volunteers, we've got some people waving. Okay, Jen's bringing the group back together. I'm giving play-by-plays here.
I heard your conversations. You're having some great conversations about how to be good service leaders. And if you're still having some, that's but part of, oh, that's not good. I don't need a timer right now. You're taking, it's fine. Oh, don't do that. Awesome. The best way to be a good team leader is to figure out how to motivate your team, right? Everybody's motivated differently. We're learning that. And one of those ways that we encourage you to figure out how to motivate your team, to motivate members of your executive board, to motivate the members of your committee, is to think about their love language. How many of you are familiar with 5 love languages? Awesome. Often when we think about those love languages, though, we think about them in terms of our significant other, our partner, right? And how does this apply to my partner and our personal relationship? What I'll tell you is those same things apply to your relationships with the members of your chapter. Because the way that you feel love is also the way that you're motivated, right? So if you look on in your participant guide on page 46, you will see a 5 love languages quiz. I want you to take a couple of minutes, go through this for yourself. Don't overthink it. Select a statement that applies best to you, okay? Again, go with your gut. Don't overthink it. Don't choose the answer that you think is right. Choose what seems like it was the best fit for you. I want your facilitators to do this too, as it looks like some of them are writing notes in. And then I'll bring us back in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk about what some of this means and how it can apply to your role on exec. number of each letter you have. So you might have 9 A's, 7 B's, 4 C's, whatever that looks like. So count those up and tally those at the end. And then we'll talk about the letter that you have the most of. Take about 1 more minute and then we will discuss some of these. All right, as some of you are finishing up, let's talk about some of these. How many of you had the most A's? So these are my words of affirmation people, right? Would you say you're a words of affirmation person? Do you feel loved that way? Those of you that raised your hand? Yes? How does that play out for you? What does that look like? Yeah?
So for me, like when I'm in chapter or any kind of situation with my sisters, and they're like, wow, I really appreciate all the stuff you do financially, like you make our chapter financially sound, and I can't imagine anybody else being in that role. I think that's all.
First off, shout out to your sisters for being good at giving you some love. So for those of you that probably couldn't hear her, when somebody says to her, you're doing a really good job at keeping our finances in order, and I just don't know how we would do it without you, right? Like, we all love hearing that, right? What about, who had the most B's? Aww. These are our quality time people. What does that mean for you?
On this side too.
How do you feel loved with quality time? Go ahead in the back.
I just really like being active and doing things, so I think that's probably part of the quality time. But I am not just would sit around and talk, but go out and do something, interact with the person.
Yeah. So she's not really a sit around and talk person, but if somebody's giving their time to go hang out with her and go do things together, she feels loved that way, right? So maybe that's how you motivate someone. Spend some time with them, get to know them, show them they're important to you. Where are my C's? Anybody had the most C's? Now that's a first. So C is receiving gifts. This one gets a bad rap, y'all. This one gets a real bad rap. I'm here to tell you, getting gifts is not always a bad thing. People sometimes are afraid to raise their hand because they think that makes them look like they're, what's the word? Materialistic, right? That's not true. Sometimes a gift is a a handwritten note to them, right? Even though it's words of affirmation, it was that it was physical, that they got a note in the mail. I love some good snail mail, right? So even though we don't have any of those in the room, you are likely going to have some of those women on your board. So think about that. Maybe they just need that little extra step. What about D? Acts of service. I am right here. This is all me, all day. What does this look like for you? How does acts of service translate? Go ahead. Ooh, go ahead. You have to come one more time. I'm deaf in one ear. It's weird.
Making lunch for my kids in the morning.
Yes.
I'd rather sleep in, but I do that to show my love.
Yeah. So for her, it's how she shows love. So she'd much rather sleep in the morning, but she gets up to make her kids lunch. Right? So it's that act of service. What about E? The last one. How many of you are E's? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are physical touch people. What does this look like? How do you feel most loved by that physical touch?
For me personally, I feel like a hug heals that works. And when, especially when someone comes to you, when you go to someone with a very difficult situation that people don't know how to respond, I feel like when you use a hug, it's just everything that you can say words, that's it.
That was so eloquent. I believe you said that a hug can fix things that words can't for her. So sometimes we don't know what to say, but sometimes the hug says everything. So how did these, give me an example of how you can use any one of these methods with your exec, or how you've seen it used. Go ahead. Yeah, that's a perfect example. She said that members of her exec board have standing office hours where any member of the chapter can come and sit with them and either they're talking about personal things, they're talking about chapter things, but it's really made the chapter feel connected to those women and they feel like they're getting that quality time. What's another example of a way that you see these things play out in your chapter experience? Go ahead.
I think that goes back to the thing that we just talked about knowing the person and being vulnerable. So you know that you're talking to someone that would like a hug, or like you're someone like me, I don't like to touch, so I would be really uncomfortable if you have to hug me, but that's just me personally. I know that I have sisters who if they come in and they are shook on something, they would like to be hugged. So it all goes back to knowing the person and then being able to act exactly what you know about them.
Yeah, she brings up a great point. A lot of times the way that we feel love is not the way that we need to be giving love to others. So me and my sister friend here are not physical touch people. We're not huggers. We don't want to be touched. That's not where we are. But our sister might need that. And so in that moment, we need to set aside what we need and give her what she needs, right? I saw a hand over here. Go ahead.
At chapter meeting, we do this thing called Affirmation. So it's basically like a compliment box, and there's a very meaty everyone, not everybody, but if you want, you can write a little note and then send it out to the front of the event. And then if you are the president or your mom, so it's kind of words of affirmation. Just feel like compliments to the chapter.
Yeah, so carnation compliments. So people can write compliments to each other and they read them out at chapter. Everybody likes to feel like their sisters are recognizing them, even if it's for the little things. And sometimes people are weird about giving compliments. It's something I'm really working on, just walking up to somebody and being like, you look fabulous today. Because people get weird about it. But it makes them feel good. Even if they're like, oh, thanks. They feel good about it. I'm going to throw it back to your breakout groups. Because now I want us to move into talking about how to delegate to your team. Because the way you're going to make them feel valued is delegating some tasks to them and letting them know that they're important, that their role is valued. Okay? Cool.
All right, so we're going to kick off this discussion a little bit about talking about
Stressed out about a certain goal and how they're
I'm going to go chat with Jen, ask her a little update. Jen, great work. we were just wondering, so we know the nice part about Leadership Academy is it's not just about the role itself, but how to be a good exec board member.
Yeah.
And you're learning a lot more than just the officer handbook. You're learning about it kind of on a big picture. So can you just tell us a little bit more about, for those who maybe couldn't hear some of the
Sure.
feedback, who is in this room right now, what they're learning, and hopefully kind of what they can be able to take apart, just to put you on the spot for some of us that are
I'm
on
okay
here
with
live.
that. I'm okay with that. First, I'm really excited. I hope all of you that are tuning in are loving this.
We've got a lot tuning in too.
Yeah, so in the room right now we have our VPs of finance, and often we find that our chapter presidents always feel the weight of leading the chapter. They think they are the sole responsible person for that, and what we know is that's not true. And while the chapter president is really leading the charge, the VP finance is running the business, right? Like she is at times running a small company, and so we really want to empower them to build those relationships with their sisters. And it's not just about the operational stuff. You know, we can do webinars and teach them how to do their job. We can provide them a checklist of here's all the things you need to accomplish. You know, but what's great about Alpha Omega is we're giving them skills that are great for now, right now, in their college years, and then if they're good for me in my 30s, and they're good for 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 years from now, they're still going to be
We've got
using
some
these skills.
advisors and facilitators in the room when they were talking
Yes.
about, you know, things with their kids, and you're thinking, okay, this isn't just while you're in college. These are great skills to talk about at any point. Right.
Yeah, and so I always love the 5 love languages. It's my favorite thing to facilitate because we do think about that from the lens of with our significant other or with our partner. And I always like to pick on my husband when I facilitate that part because he's a physical touch person and I am an acts of service person and I just want him to do the dishes sometimes. But we have had to really kind of understand what each other needs in those moments, and that really translates into the executive board experience. And so I am just really excited these officers are here. I can't say thank you enough for all of you that are on live. I love what I do, and I love getting to serve these women, and they are so thankful, and they're so
I know, you
excited
can see it in
to
the
be
room.
here.
Everyone's pumped.
Yeah, so,
Which is cool.
Yeah.
So thanks, Jen. Thanks for giving us a little more of an insight.
Of
We'll do
course.
another scan of the room before we kind of start to wrap up. But we just wanted to make sure we were able to bring to you all who are so passionate and supportive of Alpha Chi Omega just an inside peek into all the fun that is happening, the learning that is happening. And like Jen said, these are VP finances. Some of their, is it breakout facilitators or advisors?
Breakout facilitators.
So breakout facilitators. So you may see some men in the room or some advisors that you know, and those are those facilitators that are here this weekend as well. So we're going to wrap up. We will continue to do some lives throughout the rest of the day, but thanks to Jen Wallach and the rest of the Leadership Academy team. You'll probably get to meet some of them here again later today, but we will keep you all posted. And thanks everyone for tuning in.